Hey DockerCon fans, let's look at some new features on 1.13 that was released in January around system maintenance, specifically the prune command and the df command for cleaning up images, containers, networks, and volumes. So if you use Docker long enough, you start to collect things, and you have images and containers and volumes that are taking up space on your hard drive. And before, if we wanted to clean that stuff up, we had to use a series of commands. Maybe you had a couple of aliases like this that you would put on your machine to make it easier. Or maybe you would use some third-party scripts like this that might make it easier for you. But now we have some new built-in features. So under Docker System, you'll see two commands that will help us here, df and prune. So df, Docker System, df, actually breaks down where our space is being used up, how many images we have and how much space total there, and containers and volumes. And as you can see on mine, I have about 5 gig taken up in images, very little in containers and volumes, and that my reclaimable is actually 93% I can get back in my disk space of that almost 5 gig if I were to delete them. So that's where the prune comes in. So Docker System Prune will actually go through and delete everything that's not running. So stopped containers, volumes and networks that aren't connected to at least one live container, and then dangling images. And dangling images are those layers of images that you don't actually see and don't need usually because they don't have any relationship to your existing images. And so if I hit yes here, it would nuke all that stuff. And the only thing that would be left is running containers, used networks and volumes that are for those running containers, and then any of my images. So I'm going to actually say no here because I actually want to show you that you can use prune under any of the objects themselves. So you can say Docker image prune, and that'll just focus on your images. And I can do the same for Docker container prune. That will also let me delete all stopped containers. So let's go back to the Docker system prune. And you'll notice that I do have a few options here. But the one we really care about is the -A. So this will basically clean everything off my engine that's not actively being used in a running container. So I'm just going to do the standard Docker system prune, hit yes this time, and then it gets back my IDs of all the objects I've deleted. And now if I do a Docker system df, you'll see that I've cleaned out my containers and local volumes, but I still have a lot of images. In order to get rid of those, I'm going to have to do the -A. Then it asks me if I'm sure. I say yes. And you'll see after a few seconds, it'll clean up all those. And now I can do a Docker system df, and you'll see I got zeros across the board. So thanks for watching, and see you at DockerCon.